One of you messaged me in my open math and asked for some help on a question like number 15, number 16 in section 1.3. So this is from section 1.3. Let's see what page is it on. It's on page 48. And actually, this is similar to the one my sample post. So I don't know if I did it with one of the variables. But this is basically asking you to do, and this is where you're going to start calculus next semester, is if you have to do that, is basically you're trying to figure out what's the slope of this curve when x equals 9. So what we do is we write a little expression because you need 2 points to find a slope, right? And so we say, what if we just add a little bit more to beyond 9, and then we'll find the slope between that line, and then it gets into the calculus. How do we find that? But what we're going to do here is get you set up to that point. So what you do is you're going to do like with any slope, right? We know this point is 9, and then if we substitute 9 into the function, right, that's going to be 1 over 9 plus 4, which is 13, right? So this point is going to be 9, and 1 over 13 is the y. And then this point here is going to have an x value of 9 plus h, just a little bit more, plus 1 over 9 plus h. Let's see, I'm going to have a hard time writing this. I'm going to write it up here. 9 plus h, 1 over, well, let's see. If we're taking 9 plus h and we're adding 4 to it, isn't that going to be 13 plus h? So here's x1, y1. Here's x sub 2, y sub 2. And we're just going to do the slope. So with any of them, we're going to do, let's see, let me get black. Yep, so we're going to do so we've got f of 9 equals 1 over 13. We know that f of 9 plus a little bit equals 1 over 13 plus a little bit. So 1 over 13 plus h minus 1 over 13, that's y2 minus y1, over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And now this is where I suspect that people having a hard time with this, is in order to simplify that expression, this expression here in the top, we have to get common denominators. Well, what's the common denominator of 13 plus a number? Well, won't it be both of them? If I had 1 over, if I had 1 over 8 plus 1 over 8 plus I don't know. I won't go small. I'll go, what if I had 8 plus 1? Won't that be 1 over 8 plus 1 over 9? So I need to multiply this fraction by 9 over 9, and this fraction by 8 over 8, because 9 and 8 are relatively prime. And that will give me 9 plus 8 all over 72, because 9 times 9 is 72. These are both over 72. We can just smush them together. That'll give me 17 over 72. Well, we're going to do that same process with these expressions. So I'm going to multiply this equation, this top numerator by 13 over 13. I'm going to multiply this fraction by the rational expression by 13. Actually, it's a fraction, isn't it? Though, aren't they all my rational expressions? I digress. By 13 plus h over 13 plus h. And then you can do the arithmetic. So that becomes 13 minus, that minus doesn't disappear. That's still there. Times, now that's got a 1 by it. So negative 1 times 13 plus h all over that common denominator of 13 times 13 plus h. And I'm not going to distribute that through. I'm just going to leave that alone. And then this is all over, if 9 minus 9 is h, so there's an h there. Here, let me change that to a different color because we don't want to deal with that yet. But that h came from here. 9 minus 9 is 0. So now we're going to do a little cleaning up here. Let's see. So I'm going to get 13. Now, I do want to distribute that negative through because I want to be able to simplify that as much as possible. Minus h, right, all over the common denominator, 13 times 13 plus h. If you feel more comfortable distributing the 13 through, do it. I would recommend you don't. Okay, so that's what that is. And then 13 minus 13 is 0. So I have a negative h on top. I have a 13 times 13 plus h there. And then I'm going to divide this by h. Isn't dividing by h the same as multiplying by 1 over h? And that h cancels. So that'll be negative 1 over 13 times 13 plus h. Okay, and these will all work out that kind of way, especially if it's a rational number. Okay, we'll do another one. So here's one I just made up. One thing that I would do, one thing that works well when I'm working through this on live with people in a help session is we'll do the problem, they'll copy it down, and then I'll do it without saying anything on the screen, and they look up and compare. So if you think you got it and you don't need to listen to me, why don't you go ahead and copy down this problem. Stop the video, copy down that problem. You try it, repeat the process I just did for you, and then you can start the video again and I'll talk you through this. Okay, and if you need help seeing it again, watch through this video again. So I know I want to find f of negative 2. Well, f of negative 2 is going to be 1 over negative 4. And f of negative 2 plus h equals 1 over, let's see, what is that going to be? Negative 4. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus h. And then we're going to do f of b minus f of a, or x, y2. So y here, remember, here's y2. Here's x2, x sub 2, y sub 2, y sub 1, x sub 1. We'll do the slope. So 1 over negative 4 plus h minus 1 over negative 4 all over, well, it works out to be h, but negative 2 plus h is our x sub 2 minus our x sub 1. Here's my slope, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Well, that works out to be, well, what does that work out to be? A couple of things. Let's see here. Let me change some ink. That turns to positive, that turns to positive, that turns to positive, that turns to positive. I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4. I'm going to multiply this by negative 4 plus h over negative 4 plus h. So that gives me what? 4 minus, now that's positive, so I don't have to worry about distributing anything, minus 4 plus h all over, what is it? Negative 4 times negative 4 plus h. And then I'm dividing by h, which is the same as a multiplying by 1 over h, right? And then, let's see, that those 4's are gone. Here, let me change ink. Those 4's are gone. That h cancels out. So that leaves me with 1 over negative 4 times negative 4 plus h. Hopefully that works okay. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and try number 16 on that page. Post your work on the discussion forum. We can give you some feedback on it. Okay? So hopefully this helps.